Hi guys, welcome to the show. It is your girl Sarah right here on Relax Radio, and I am super excited to be here because we're going to be having a very important and interesting conversation, I might add. So because I want to make sure that you're always informed and updated about everything that we're going to be talking about, it's always amazing if you can stay tuned to Relax Radio. All right. Now, if you want to get in touch with me and share your thoughts and opinions with me, it's super easy because all you need to do is just text me or call me on 078 Share your thoughts, share your opinions because I would love to hear everything that you have to say. All right. And also, while you're at it, something else that you can definitely do is to go like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and actually to make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, because that way you can actually make sure that you're always informed and updated about everything we're going to be talking about. And you can also make sure that you know what is happening in the world, right? Because it's more important than ever before for you to actually be informed and updated about all of these things that are happening. Because if you're not, there are so many things happening in the world so fast, so it's always good for you to do that. All right. And also make sure to go download an app, because that is available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. And you can actually make sure that by downloading our app and listening to our shows and whatnot, that you are getting that you're getting the information when you need it the most. Okay, which means you can listen in from anywhere in the world at any time of the day as well. So make sure to stay informed and updated to all of that as well. Okay, and now we're actually going to head into our conversation, because we're going to be talking about how business leaders have called for the relaxation of visa rules, and why is it a big issue? Why are we talking about this? Don't worry, because I'm here to help you understand all of that on the sunrise with me, Sarah, right here on Relax Radio. And I'm going to be keeping you company all the way until 9 a.m. So don't be shy and make sure to stay informed and updated about all of these things. Okay, now currently the government, or rather right now, the government is under pressure to relax post-Brexit migration rules to essentially unblock Britain's worst supply chain crisis since the 1970s. Okay, now business leaders have actually warned that continued disruption could ruin Christmas. Right now, last year as well, Christmas was ruined for us, but it's not like we want to go through that again, right? However, even though we don't want to go through that again, that the whole power of making sure that Christmas is saved, and I know this sounds like a movie, is actually up to the leaders of our country, right? They need to make sure that they protect our country, and or rather that they try and get relax these visa rules, so that so that these companies, these food firms and whatnot, that are facing labor shortages and supply shortages, can actually keep up with the demand and potentially save Christmas. All right, so industry bosses actually said that urgent changes to the visa system were in fact required, because retailers were struggling to keep their shelf stocked, right? And restaurants were running out of food and drink, and this was in this whole meltdown that was triggered by A, COVID, and B, Brexit. Right now, the truth of the matter is, when COVID struck, so many businesses had to shut down. But also with that came, shortage in food, shortage in these items that we use to stock these menus, right? Essentially, because a lot of these things that we use, a lot of the things that we use, and a lot of the things that people in the European Union countries use, depends on import and export, right? And ever since Brexit, import and export has completely changed, right? And obviously with COVID as well, import and export restrictions were in place, because COVID, at that point of time, they found out that it could spread through other means as well. So obviously, because all of that happened, it was very important for our government to actually put certain restrictions in place to make sure that our country was safe. However, what is happening right now is, with Brexit and COVID, it has actually taken a much bigger toll, right? And what's happening is, industry estimates actually put the shortage of workers needed to drive lorries, handle goods in warehouses, and pick fruits and vegetables at hundreds of thousands. So basically, there is a shortage of hundreds and thousands of workers to do these specific things, right? Now, company bosses and trade groups are actually now warning that if ministers refuse to allow more EU workers into the United Kingdom, they actually risk a deeper crisis this winter. Okay, so if they're not essentially going to, if they're not essentially going to have EU workers here in the United Kingdom, what that is going to happen, what that's going to create is in fact a much bigger problem, because these people are, because there's going to be labor shortages, and people are not necessarily going to be these companies are not necessarily going to be able to put up with the demand. All right, now the chairman of Tesco, who happens to, which is in fact the UK's largest supermarket group, actually called for more drivers to meet an estimated 100,000 shortfall. All right, so there is in fact 100,000 shortfall of drivers, and he was, calling for workers, calling for, people to come and join as quickly as they can, right? And he basically warned and said, what, I think there may be some shortages at Christmas, and at the moment we're running very hard just to keep on top of the existing demand, and there isn't capacity to build stocks that they'd like to see. Okay, and this is in fact, supposed to be the worst supply chain crisis ever since the 1970s. But if you want to find out more, make sure to stay tuned, because we're going to be heading into a small break now, and after that we will be back to discuss this further. But obviously until then, make sure you stay tuned.
Are you looking to achieve the most relevant qualification to kickstart your career? Then reward yourself with the best globally recognized professional business qualification, CIMA. Irrespective of the field you aspire to succeed in, a CIMA qualification can add immense value to your resume and professional life. Succeed in your CIMA journey with supportive tuition provided by qualified lecturers and resources. Nanaska is the leading registered CIMA tuition provider in Sri Lanka, with over a decade in the industry and hundreds of success stories. With qualified and certified tutors, Nanaska now provides easy access 100% virtual classes so that you could succeed at your exams and in life right from the comfort of your home. At Nanaska, it's not just about a qualification. We help you think out of the box and build a personality. Exciting offers also await students overseas. Enroll now. Call +94 77 499 7338 or visit www.nanaska.com. Commence your CIMA journey at Nanaska and become a globally recognized leader. Nanaska, smile with results.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. It is your girl Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and we're having a very important and interesting conversation. All right, so make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to stay, make sure to stay tuned to Relaks Radio, because if you're going to stay tuned to Relaks Radio, then you can listen into the Sunrise, and the Sunrise is where I provide you with the very latest information. All right, so make sure to stay tuned. And now, before we actually head into our conversation, I want to very quickly remind you that you can in fact be a part of the show. All you need to do is just text me or call me on 078-524-73473 and share your thoughts, share your opinions, because I would absolutely love to hear everything that you have to say. All right, so all you need to do is just text me or call me on 078-524-73473. Share your thoughts, share your opinions, and obviously something else that you can do is to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, it's as simple as that. That's all you need to do, and that way you can always make sure you're updated as well. Okay, and we also have an app which is available for download, and that's completely free of charge as well. So make sure to do that, because it's available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, and you can actually make sure that you are listening into our conversation from wherever you are in the world, regardless of whatever it is that you're doing. So don't forget to do that. And now let's actually head into our conversation, because like I said, we're going to be talking about how these business leaders have called for the relaxation of visa rules, especially with COVID and Brexit, and how that's now resulting in supply chain shortages across the country. And these supply chain shortages could potentially cancel Christmas as well. So it's important to keep that in mind. Okay. And now let's actually head into our conversation, because we still have so much more left to talk about. All right. Now, Richard Walker, who happens to be Iceland's managing director, specifically stated that the United Kingdom faced a shortage of HGV drivers, right? And that was already causing 30, 40 deliveries to its stores to be cancelled daily. So imagine if you take 30 to 40 deliveries for a day, within a day, 30 to 40 deliveries, that means within the span of a week, if it's 30 deliveries for a day, that's 210, right? And obviously, that is a huge amount of deliveries, and those deliveries are going to cause a backlog in terms of the month as well, right? Because when consumers go online and they order, or they say, look, you know what, we want these things delivered, and even the stores themselves are finding it hard to get these deliveries across to their other stores, then in what way are we going to actually help the consumers and their deliveries, right? So that is what the problem seems to be. Now, explicitly linking the issues to Brexit, Richard Walker actually said this a crisis. He rather called this a crisis of a self-inflicted wound, and this was in fact much more likely to get much worse. All right. So basically, he stated, look, you know what, this crisis that we're having right now, it's in fact a self-inflicted wound, right? And the truth of the matter is there wasn't proper planning. There wasn't enough, planning done with regard to Brexit and with regard to how exactly we're going to deal with the shortage of workers, with, the backlog of deliveries, how that's potentially going to supply all across the country, right? Nobody really thought about all of that. And right now, because of that we're having the worst supply chain crisis in our history, and basically it's because of this self-inflicted wound that our rulers have basically caused, right? So that is what it seems to be. Now, the simple solution is that HGV lorry drivers need to be added to the essential and skilled worker list. All right. And this is what Richard Walker said. He said that ministers right now appear very unwilling to give away on visas. Okay. And the government actually continued to insist on Wednesday that employers needed to do more to recruit and retain British workers. All right. But the truth of the matter is, even if that was the case, it's not like a lot of British workers are willing to do some of the jobs that people from EU countries did, because these job roles were typically lower paid jobs that were from logistics and food production roles, right? And these are not jobs that British citizens would typically like to fill. Okay, now. A Home Office spokesperson actually said, the British people repeatedly voted to end free movement and take back control of our immigration system. Employers should actually invest in our domestic workforce instead of relying on labor from abroad. Okay. Now, the number of Romanian and Bulgarian workers in the United Kingdom who would typically fill lower paid logistics and food production roles has also plunged by almost 90,000. All right. And this is the equivalent of 24% since the end of 2019. All right. Now, employees from 8 Eastern European countries, including Poland and the Czech Republic, have also fallen by more than 100,000%. Or 100,000 or even 12%. All right. Now, industry sources said that in addition to the lorry driver shortages that are presently there was also a lack of tens of thousands of seasonal agricultural workers and 14,000 needed in meat processing plants as well. Okay, so it's important to keep that in mind as well, because this whole thing is causing a lot. This whole thing is causing a lot of chaos, not just in the United Kingdom, but all across the United Kingdom, because that is causing so much of shortages and backlogs with regard to everything that is happening. All right, now make sure to stay tuned, because we're going to head into a small break right now, and after that we will be back to discuss this further. So until then, make sure you stay tuned.
The valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday. And what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. What am I saving or investing for? Why am I doing it? When will I need the money? And how much money do I need? Yeah. So that's quite important, because when you're looking at your net worth, you've got to start with saying, well, what do I want my net worth to be, so that there's a goal, and then work backwards. How do I get there? And if I can start with £50 or $50 a week, if I save that every week, and you can go online and you